before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you never miss stories like this. The night my world flipped upside down, my wife Alina stood in our living room with the kind of confidence I had never witnessed from her before. Her expression was icy, calculated, almost proud, arms folded across her chest, chin tilted high. She looked straight through me as if I meant nothing, as if I were just an inconvenience standing in the way of her master plan. I had come home early, hoping to surprise her with dinner, only to see her aggressively typing on her phone, pacing back and forth with flushed cheeks and an unmistakable spark of excitement in her eyes. When I questioned what was happening, she turned slowly, a smug smile curling on her lips, and spoke words that still echo painfully in my memory. "Listen, Mark," she said with chilling seriousness. "I'm meeting my ex tonight. You've got two options. Either sit and watch me sleep with him, or stay out my way while I do it anyway." Everything inside me froze. For a brief second, I thought this was some sick joke, a cruel test to stir a reaction out of me. But her voice carried no humor. There was no hesitation, no embarrassment, no trace of guilt, only arrogance, only cruelty. She justified it by saying she needed closure, needed to explore unresolved feelings, and that if I truly loved her, I would understand her decision. I stood there, silent, as the air around us felt heavier, colder. She clearly expected me to fall apart, to shout, to plead, to crumble so she could feel powerful. Instead, I said nothing. I simply looked at her, at the disrespect in her eyes, at the superiority she wore so casually, and something inside me snapped with unsettling calm. In that moment, I realized I wasn't losing a wife. I was freeing myself from someone who never valued me. When I didn't give her the meltdown she wanted, irritation crept into her voice. "So what's it going to be? Option 1 or option 2? She demanded. Her ex, she claimed, was already on his way. She wanted an answer. She wanted dominance. She believed she controlled my heart, my pride, my existence. What she failed to understand was that my choice had been made the instant those words left her mouth. Without a word, I walked past her and made my way to our bedroom. She followed, scoffing, assuming I was about to break down or start packing my own things. Instead, I pulled out a suitcase, opened her side of the closet, and began folding her clothes with steady precision. No rage, no drama, just calm, deliberate movements, like carefully erasing the remnants of a nightmare. That's when panic finally cracked her composure. "What the hell are you doing?" she yelled. "I'm choosing option 3. I replied evenly, not even glancing at her. "You can sleep with whoever you want, but not as my wife. So start packing. You're leaving tonight." Her color drained instantly. She stammered, struggling to find words. "Mark, stop. You're overreacting. It was just a test, a joke. You're being dramatic." But her voice betrayed her. The confidence was gone. The control had slipped. Suddenly, the game she started wasn't fun anymore. Before she could say more, a knock echoed through the house. Her ex had arrived. The timing felt almost poetic, like the universe wanted her charade exposed. She turned pale, glancing from the door to me, silently pleading for rescue from her own disaster. I remained still. "You invited him," I said coldly. "Open it." With shaky hands, she cracked the door open. Standing there was Adrian, wearing a smug grin, radiating casual confidence. "Ready?" he asked, peering past her toward me as if expecting chaos. What he saw instead was a calm that spoke louder than rage. "Go ahead, step inside," I told him, "and you'll understand exactly why she's packing her bags." He tried to play it cool. "Bro, relax. She just wants to talk." But when I stepped closer, his grin vanished. "Let me be crystal clear," I said in an even tone. "If you step foot in this house again after tonight, I will file a restraining order against both of you. I have everything saved. Messages, screenshots, dates, times. All of it." The color drained from his face. He hadn't expected repercussions. He hadn't anticipated intelligence. He assumed I'd fall apart. Instead, I dismantled his confidence with calculated calm. Alina panicked. "Mark, please stop," she cried, grabbing Adrian's arm and pulling him back. "Just go. I'll call you later, okay?" He left quickly, casting one last uneasy glance my way, waiting for an explosion that never came. I simply closed the door behind him, the quiet click echoing louder than any argument. With him gone, Alina collapsed onto the couch in desperation. "Please, Mark, I don't want a divorce. I was stupid. I just wanted to make you jealous, to see if you cared." Tears streamed down her face, but they meant nothing to me. "You call that jealousy?" I said calmly. "You threaten betrayal. That isn't love. That's cruelty." She begged endlessly as I continued packing every trace of her existence. Clothes, shoes, makeup. Her desperation only grew as reality settled in. She blamed stress, alcohol, her friends, her past, everything except herself. But the truth stood unmistakable. She sought control and ended up losing everything. When the bags were finally packed, I lined them up by the door. She stared at them like they were symbols of her own downfall. "Where am I supposed to go?" she whispered. "Wherever your ex takes you," I replied, "or wherever people like you land after destroying their own home." She broke apart completely, sobbing as she dragged her luggage outside. Neighbors watched from their windows, unaware of the full story, but knowing one thing for certain. She crossed a line no marriage can survive. They saw me standing there, not furious, not shattered, just finished. That night reshaped everything. I learned that dignity isn't something you beg for. It's something you protect. She offered me humiliation or silence, but I chose self-respect. And when she realized I wasn't the one losing anything, her entire illusion collapsed. Even now, she calls, texts, pleads for a conversation. I don't respond. Because when someone gives you choices that crush your soul, the only real decision left is to walk away for good.